Sir, this is Cadets Alex Quinn, Brian Quinn, and Courtney Smith presenting deliverable 1-2 for SE370. The agenda for this presentation includes an overview of the model, its purpose, soldiers' monthly pay, their monthly pay at retirement, the monthly BAH, their monthly BAH at retirement, the TSP contribution, basically the matching contribution from Department of Defense, and the GI Bill benefits.
Alright, so this is Cadet Alex Quinn. I'm going to walk you through what a soldier would do if he were to be given this model to figure out what different retirement packages he has available to him. So here's where the soldier would input his rank. So for myself, when I graduate, I'm going to be an 01. Retirement grade has all the different ranks here, warrant officers included. So say I make full bird. The amount of salary allotted to the TSP, that can go up to 5%. The soldier can change that. Dependents, wife or kids, say I do. Estimated years until promotion, that will come later. Current years of service, we've been in the Army for about 1 year, 24 years until I retire. Special pay, that's different, hazardous duty, etc. Estimated tax rate, say I fall in about 25% tax bracket. Current zip code, and we'll leave West Point and for all of those. So as you can see, the results I have here are displayed in this table. They're all dependent on the different inputs that the soldier put in, and using the VLOOKUP functions from other sheets like here, here, different lookup functions. They were able to draw the specific data points and display them very easily and simplistically for the soldier.
Sir, this is Brian Quinn. I'm now going to go through how the model actually works. So you see here we have the final results section, so everything that Alex was just talking about. With the given data, the soldier would be making $5,830 with BAH. And then when they retired, they could expect to make $14,400. At the current time, he'd be able to use the GI Bill for $3,486 a month. That would be what the Army would give him towards school, and the Army would match him his 3% contribution to the TSP for a total of $178. First order of business is finding out the actual current base pay. So that's using data that we found on the DFAS website. So using that, we would look at years of service converter. That's going to take the answers in this first box and convert that to a number that we can actually use. So that says it's going to be over 3 years. Next is going to take that and use a an HLOOKUP function to go to a pay scale data table, and it's going to determine by their rank right here in this column and the amount of years that they've served in this row, and we'll spit out a value. So let's say that they are an 01 with 3 years of service. They're going to go right here. An 01 with 3 years of service would make $3,740. And we see right here that number is brought up. The next part is to figure out the BAH. This is the basic allowance for housing. So given the current zip code, we have 10997. This cell uses a VLOOKUP function using the zip code state code spreadsheet. That all this information was gotten through a behavioral Department of Bureau of Labor Statistics to find what the state code is for every single zip code. So once we have the state code, we can use that in a VLOOKUP function, and the BAH tables for people with dependents and no dependents. The way we were able to determine which one they would use for the function was through this right here. They would choose whether they have dependents or not. Right here we have an if statement in these two cells. So this is essentially saying that if they have dependents, this is going to be turned to 1, and this is going to be turned to 0. So we can see that change right here. This uses a lookup to find the BAH without dependents, and then this is with that with dependents. These cells right here are just the products of those two, and the answer for the current actual BAH per month is just the sum of these two cells right here. The exact same thing is used for the payment at retirement. And if we were to say that they would retire as an 08, they would have $13,647, and the amount of BAH they would be getting was $3,830. Next, we're going to talk about how we got to special pay. The different special pay categories that we were able to find were aviation, enlisted flyer, hazardous duty for crew members and non-crew members, diving, HDIP, hostile fire, and we got that all consolidated into one special pay spreadsheet right here. Depending on the different pay is the different way you would find it. So for aviation and career enlisted flyers, that's by years of service, whereas hazardous duty pay is determined by their rank. So right here, they tell us if they have a special pay, or let's say they're going to be diving. We go down here to our work for the diving for the special pay, and we can see that the diving category is turned on right here. It's using the same type of if statement that we use for the BAH, and that will show that we earn $240 in special pay due to the diving aspect of their job. If we were to use, say, aviation, which is determined by rank, we see how that changes right here, and depending, because of their years of service, they are making $250. Next, we're going to talk about the TSP contribution. So right here, we have a drop-down menu for the amount of, well, we don't have a drop-down menu, but we have a category that they can add percent. So let's say they're going to contribute 8% to their TSP. Now we know that the Army has a maximum contribution level of 5%. You can see right here that the personal contribution is going to be $299, and we use the same type of if statement as we've used in the past two categories. So if it's 5% or less, the Army is going to match exactly how much. But if it's more than 5%, because we use 8%, it's only going to match 5%. We can see that right here. This is just the amount that they have times 5%. And we can see that they have a total contribution of $486 between their contribution and what the Army matches. Finally, we have the GI Bill. The GI Bill is determined by their amount of service. So if they have 36% or more months of service, they're going to be able to have 100% of their tuition paid, and it's less for each. It's less for every single category. So right here we see that the zip code converter determines the amount of BAH they'll allow, and it's determined as an E5 with dependents for every single rank and every single school. But it just depends on their location. And we use the same type of zip code converter that we used in the original BAH. The GI Bill is determined per month in this model, and is mainly determined by the amount of service they have, and the maximum allowable, which is around $21,000 a year. Then they have a book stipend. They are allowed to get $1,000 per year divided by 12. That all comes to a total GI Bill of $4,364. Sir, that completes our presentation. When we actually go into the user interface, we would just cover up all this work with this little works cited table that we have. So the User doesn't have to worry about how this is actually being done, but they could easily move it to see all the inner workings of the model. Thank you for your time.